Hello there, I'm Miss Laura with the Wichita Falls Arts Council, and today we are going to create an optical illusion drawing or a 3D line drawing. Well, 2D, but 3D optical illusion. And we'll do this by first drawing a simple line drawing using a pencil and then outlining in Sharpie to give us nice bold lines to trace onto our tracing paper, where we'll trace our entire drawing in two different colors, a red and a light blue. And the reason that we're using these colors is to match the lenses on our 3D glasses, which we'll look through at the very end to see our drawing slightly pop up off of the page. So the first thing we need to do is get colors that are closest to the two lenses on our 3D glasses. So I have a scrap piece of paper here, and I'm just going to do a quick color test. So I want to get colors that closest match the lenses on my red lens and my blue lens. And I can do this test by just creating little scribbles with each of my reds first. Okay, so I have a scribble of each color. I'm going to put their respective colored pencils next to them. I'll zoom in. You'll be able to see this through the camera. You can also just look with your eyeballs with yours. So if I look through this blue lens, that's pretty dark. Both of these scribbles are pretty dark. This is the opposite lens. But if I look through the red lens, they mostly disappear. Or it looks like my colored pencil on the left, that scribble almost completely disappears. That's the color that's closest to my lens. I can still see this one on the right faintly, so I'm not going to use this one. I'm just going to use the color that almost completely disappears. Okay, so this will be my red that I use. I'm going to do the same thing with my blues. So I have two, like these are ceruleans, or true blue and light cerulean. But I also have this true green. It's almost a blue green. So you could try a few different colors that are in that same range. So I'll do the same thing here. Create little scribbles. You can do the same thing with markers, anything that produces color. Trying to find the colors that closest match the lenses. Okay, I'm going to look through my blue lens here. And it looks like this one on the furthest right disappears the most. I can still kind of see all of them. It looks a little bit yellow, but I think that's going to be my closest match. Okay, so I'll be using this for my blue. Okay. So once we have our two colors ready, we have our 3D glasses for the end. I'm going to use a piece of regular white computer paper to do my simple line drawing. I have a Sharpie and a pencil. Oops. To do that initial drawing, and then a piece of tracing paper. But I'll trace using my red and my blue later. And that should be it. So I recommend taking about 10 minutes to do a drawing in pencil and then outlining that whole drawing in Sharpie after. I would avoid coloring in any parts or doing any type of shading because we do have to trace this entire drawing twice. You don't want to draw too much or have way too many lines. It's going to make it a really difficult chore to trace. So think about nice, simple lines. And I'm going to start drawing for about 10 minutes. Oh, sorry, but before I do that, I'm going to show you some of my other drawings you take inspiration from if you choose. So the first one I showed you already was this flower in a glass of water, kind of leaning out. This is a nice one. It's an apple that is learning how to skateboard. So I've been drawing a lot of characters. You could even write words. Those are nice, simple lines that are going to be easy to trace. Maybe we'll start. Oh, this is the wrong one. The cactus with 8 glasses of water. Looks like a Douglas fir and a hot dog. They're having a conversation, maybe. And then I have an avocado with scissors. Maybe it's a crafter. So again, draw anything, but make sure not to do any shading or coloring in. I'm finished with my drawing now. I've outlined it in Sharpie. I've erased most of my pencil marks. I don't need to erase all of them. Not too important. Again, you could take more time if you need it, but if you're ready to move on, this is what you'll do next. So I have my finished drawing. I'm going to grab my piece of tracing paper and I'm going to put it right on top of my drawing. It may not be the same size as my Sharpie drawing paper, but that's okay. I'm just going to line it up as close to the middle as I can. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the red that I chose, and I'm going to trace the entire drawing in this red. So I do want to make sure that my colored pencil or marker is pressing enough so that I leave a nice line. And I'm also using one hand to hold my paper down or hold my pieces of paper together so that they don't slide around. I want to make sure that this red drawing sits right on top of my Sharpie drawing. And I can even go back and trace again to make sure that I have a nice thick line with my colored pencil. Okay, and if it moves, I can always just line it right back up so that the red line is sitting right on top of my Sharpie line until I have the entire drawing traced. So once your entire drawing is traced in red, get some nice bold red lines. If your lines are faint and you can't really see them, you can always line your drawing back up and fill them in. Okay, so I have my red drawing done. I'm going to line it back up with my Sharpie drawing. It's sitting right on top. And then I'm going to shift my entire drawing up towards my top left corner at a diagonal. And I don't want to shift too much. I want to shift just a little bit. So maybe it's about an 1/8 inch away. Again, I'm starting right on top of my Sharpie drawing. And I'm shifting just slightly towards that top left corner. And then I'm going to take my light blue or light blue green and do the exact same thing I just did with the red. I'm going to trace my entire drawing, and I'm making sure to trace the Sharpie part. I don't want to draw over my red lines. I'm tracing where the Sharpie line is, but this time in blue or blue-green. Once you're done tracing in both your red and your blue, turn this around. You have a 3D drawing that you can look at through your 3D glasses, and it should appear to hover off the page just slightly. You may need to back up a little bit, hold it further in front of you. And then what's cool about these 3D glasses is that they'll work for other 3D images. So if you were to look online, show my screen, and just look up 3D red blue drawing. Oops. Then you can see the same effect through the glasses. Yeah, if we look at this image here, we see the red and the blue and how it's offset just like our drawing. Oops, that's not what I want. Or we have this drawing here, oopsies. Where the drawing changes. If you look through your red lens first, and then look through your blue lens, you can cover one eye at a time and see how the drawing changes between the two lenses, right? Because the red is going to block out all of the, what am I doing? The red's going to block out all of the red, and then the blue is going to block out all of the blue. So just look up easy red and blue 3D drawing, or just 3D red and blue on Google. You should be able to find some cool images. Thank you for joining me, and see you guys later.